Hey Nifty family.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to another video. Today we have a guest.
Yeah, so we decided we haven't talked to you guys in a while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, man, we've been to parenthood.
Listen.
Yeah, it was a good thought, but in reality, it's a lot of work. Yeah, that's cute. That's smile.
Yes, so we realized that Atlanta is getting so saturated because everyone is trying to move here. I've been asked, several questions as to, hey, how is it now that you're living in Atlanta? So today we're going to do living in New York versus living in Atlanta. What's the difference between living in Atlanta and living in New York?
Okay, first thing I'm gonna say is transportation.
Oh.
In New York, of course, you have like, transportation at your whim. Like, like you get to, what is it, MARTA? Is it MARTA?
MTA.
Is MTA in New York?
Yes.
Metro.
Down here is MARTA.
Which one is Metro?
MTA, Metropolitan Transit.
Oh, see, I ain't been here now. You can live in New York, you can live your whole entire life in New York and you never really need a car.
There was no need for me to have my permit or a license in New York.
Yeah.
I just took the train. We lived by the train station wherever we lived. Even before Micah, I was just like a walking distance to the train station. You take the train, hop on another train to get to your destination. I hated the bus. I was not doing the buses. But here, the bus and train, there's only 2 train lines.
I think it's like 4. I think it's 4 that come in once. I don't know how to work out here, bro. It's really weird. Like,
and the buses come every 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's like night and day. Like, Georgia is not the way right now when it comes to it. People always are boycotting about putting buses and trains in neighborhoods, so they having a hard time building them new ones. But if you move to Georgia, I will say that it is not that expensive to get a car. It's more, the entertainment in New York is more in like particular areas. You can find it. Like if you go to Brooklyn, it's right there. If you go to Manhattan, it's right here. Now in Georgia, you have Atlanta, a couple upcoming places like Decatur. You have like a few places spread out, but they're all spread out. Right, it's different. And then on top of entertainment for us, we have hiking. You have to add that in there too. Going to the mall. That's your entertainment in Georgia.
That's not true. That's not true.
They have some theaters. They have some theaters and stuff, but
do not listen to Micah. Micah is very boring. No, actually he's not. Talk about the nightlife.
That's a secret. We do not talk about the Fight Club.
Please, he fronting like, oh, we go to the mountains and that's it. No, you be going on the strip with your boys, drinking, coming home. Like, talk about it. Just because I have the baby don't mean that you can't talk about your experience.
Alright, so there is like, if you're in a younger crowd, you have Edgewood, you have, I don't really know these places.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the places.
Anyway, the nightlife here, if you are into the nightlife, I am not so much unless it's like in celebration or something.
It's fun.
But it's dope. You don't think you're missing out from New York. New York and Atlanta, when it comes to brunch spots, I think it's particularly the same. It's just that in Atlanta, the brunch spots are very Instagrammable, it's very artsy, Atlanta is very artsy. That's one thing.
Yeah, and then one thing here that, if you're coming from another state and you want to be amongst a lot of black people, Atlanta is the black mecca, bro. New York is pretty lit, but as far as like multicultural, but
and
here,
energy and fashion.
Oh, so that's another thing we can talk about, culturally, like how it is to live out here. Right? I think in New York, people just live everywhere. It's pockets of people, right? Pockets of people. You find majority of people in New York, in Manhattan, and Brooklyn that have a lot of money most of the times. That's the city life. But you have people that live in Connecticut, Staten Island. Those states at Queens, people don't really like boost up that much when it comes to New York, but there are successful people that live out there as well. You have a lot of land out there. But out here, it's like, when you're in a good neighborhood. Like,
oh, you don't know.
Bro.
You're gonna drive by and be like, oh, this is the hood.
And the funny thing is, the hood compared to the hood in New York, looks like the hood sometimes.
Yeah, in New York, you can never tell. Like, projects in New York is decent. Yeah. Projects in Atlanta? Okay.
Okay, guys, so next, I guess we can talk about the cost of living. Now,
let's get into it.
Right.
What is the cost of living New York versus Atlanta?
Okay, so I will start with saying this. Here, you can work I don't know if it's the same thing now because it's starting to get more expensive.
But talk about before.
Alright, so the before, this is before COVID, right? Okay, we can't even say COVID no more. Before the CE thing, okay, you could work at any job out here. Like, it doesn't matter how, it doesn't have to be high corporate, low, you know, any job you work at, you can buy a house, right? You go to the grocery store and buy a house, you can work at the hospital and buy a house, you can work at McDonald's and buy a house, you can work at Walmart and buy a house.
And since you bring up Georgia, the pay is smaller in Georgia, but the cost of living is less.
Yes, it balanced out.
People from New York are like, I'm not moving to Georgia because y'all minimum wage is $7. Well, wherever you work, you're not really making $7.
Right.
$15 at Walmart right now, and if depending on how many hours you have, you can definitely buy a house with that.
Yeah.
As far as New York, you're struggling to find an apartment that's basically a studio.
That's basically a closet.
Yeah, for the view of some other brick wall.
Right.
And just to say that I live in New York, and that's what, $1,500 for a studio.
Another thing I'll probably bring up too is like, as she mentioned just now, space. Here, you know, if you're coming from another state, people are so hooked on townhomes from other states when they come here. Townhomes. Yes. But yeah, you can buy a house and have land out here. You don't have to get a townhome because you're used to living a particular way in another state, right? You don't have to live in the city. You can still travel to the city 45 to an hour away. You know what I'm saying? If you want to live like really nice in a really big house, and the further you go from the city, anywhere you are, New York or Georgia, the better the product you can afford as far as land or a house. So here, you can live an hour away from the city and be living in a mansion, right? Versus in New York, I don't think you don't care how far you live from the city, you still pay that money.
Even if, say you're not into the house buying market, not everybody that moves to Atlanta wants to buy a house. The apartments down here are very spacious. Leave a comment below and let us know what you guys would like to see from us, alright? And this is it.